Yo, yo, yo. How we looking? How we feeling? There we go. How you guys feeling? How is everyone at home? This is the drop-in. We've done a few of these now. My name is Mark Anthony Green, and this is a thing that we will be doing and continue to do while we are social distancing. And it's going to be great. We have an amazing guest today, the legendary Miss Jhené Aiko. And she should be calling in any second. This is my cat, Horace. He is a hairless sphinx. He is going to hang out with us because he's sleepy. But he kind of has a mind of his own and does his own thing. So, you know, it is what it is. We're Jhené in now. I think she's in. Let's see. So Jhené, if you're in this joint, just comment. Just throw out any comment, and then I'll find you from there. You know, we keep it very loosey-goosey on this thing, but that's cool. But while we wait for Jhené, I just want to say, you know, we hope that everybody is staying home. We hope that you guys are taking care of each other. There she is. Your loved ones. You know, this is a time that we just gotta do right by one another and look out for one another. And there she is.
Oh, it's cutting my head off.
The legendary. Yeah, okay, so let's everybody readjust.
Uh-oh.
You know, what's up?
What's up?
How you feeling?
Good. How are you?
Good. You know.
Oh, your cat.
You know, since
Wait,
we started.
I was trying to get my shirt in the frame. Ugh. Jeez.
There you go.
It's cool.
Let me see.
This is some of my merch. It's new.
Shout out to it.
I'm on my couch, but
with the volcano. Tell us about the volcano. I mean, while we're here with it.
The volcano symbolizes Chilumbo. Chilumbo is my last name, which means wild beast. And so to me, I'm sort of like the volcano, you know, I can be destructive, but I'm also a creator of life.
Yeah.
And fertile land. And so, I recorded my album on the Big Island, or a large portion of it, which, you know, the Big Island has volcanoes that are still active. And kind of all just goes together.
So if you guys have not heard Jhené's new album, You're Playing Yourself, it is one of the most centering, enjoyable bodies of music that we've gotten in a while. When was that you played it for us? That was maybe a month ago, right?
Was it in
New York? Maybe 2 months ago. And it came out. Has it been a week? Time is really, really moving slow.
I don't even know. What's today? It came out on March 6th.
Okay, so which seems like an eternity ago. And you've had a birthday since then. Happy belated.
Thank you. Happy belated to you as well.
Well, I thank
Pisces gang.
Yeah, let's get it. And so you released this project. How is it different than the other projects that you've released? It's definitely my favorite of what you've released, and it definitely feels Go ahead. Definitely feels like an insane kind of like milestone in your career, you know?
Thank you. How is it different? One of the main differences is the incorporation of the sound bowls, the sound healing that I've been studying. I'm still studying.
Yeah.
And so you'll be seeing me do more with that, especially the crystal bowls. I have like 22 bowls right now. So
do you have one that you could show us? I'm from Kansas City, so a lot of this is okay. So we won't have you.
I'm like, hold on. Let me run it.
But explain what you mean by a sound healing bowl. And I know you put them on every song in the album.
Yeah. So that's the main difference, because to me, all of my albums are just reflections of me at that period in my life, you know?
Yeah.
And in this period, or while I was recording Chalumba, I was really diving into sound healing, studying sound healing and the chakra system. So the chakra system follows the endocrine system, which is like your glands. And they found that certain tones, certain frequencies resonate with different parts of your body. And so these bowls are tuned to different keys, and they're in different notes that resonate with different parts of your body on like the cellular level. You know, there's like real research, and there's like, it's a whole field that I'm becoming more familiar with and that I am sharing as I learn, because I just think it's like magical to me. I will go upstairs. That's where I have a little home studio, and I have all my bowls laid out, and I'll just play them for hours and just get myself together. So yeah, the bowls that I use are crystal. They're from Crystal Tones, a company called Crystal Tones.
Shout out Crystal Tones.
They shout out to Crystal Tones, and they basically are not your typical like white crystal bowls. They're infused with different gemstones and different minerals and metals. So I have a bowl that's like ruby and platinum, you know, so the properties of the ruby are contributing to the vibrations of that particular bowl, you know. I have like a rose quartz bowl that they all sound different. They all sound different each time I play them, actually, because it depends on how I'm feeling and you know what's happening around me.
What's dope too about the album is like, so you have this very I mean, you know, it's like this ancient idea that obviously, you know, you're still learning and growing through, but so you have this like crystal bowl healing, but then you have Future on the same song with it. Which is like, I think that's one of the reasons why in that, you know, I take myself back to the first listen of your album. I was like, holy shit, this just feels like something I haven't heard before, which is really hard in 2020. You know,
I think and I feel like we all are multi-dimensional creatures, you know, and I'm just never afraid to just explore all the parts of me and to share all the parts of me, because before I used to feel like I had to choose, you know, I had to sort of simplify my personality so that it could be like more marketable or more understandable for people. But at the end of the day, it's just, I don't want to have to alter or censor who I am, because the people that get it, you know, and the people who don't, it's not for them, and that's fine. So yeah.
Are you a sensitive person? Like, does the like comments or negative feedback or any of that, does that get to you?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day. You know, I can definitely be more sensitive than other days. Some days I'm very sensitive, and those are the days where I'm like, delete Instagram, delete Twitter, don't even look at it. Some days I just don't care. I think that I'm trying to get to a place, and I think I'm getting in a better place to where I am not really affected by praise or by criticism. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, because everyone has an opinion, you know, and that's great. You know, it doesn't really mean, I appreciate people that have opinions, and you know, that are very passionate about their opinion, but at the end of the day, there's billions and billions of opinions, and just realizing that and just being more confident within myself, I kind of just don't care about as much. But like I said, there's days.
There's definitely some of that in the album too, where it felt like you weren't holding back, or there was like a fearlessness in it, and I think that always kind of comes through. Is that, now I know that in all of everything that is going on and in the much bigger picture, obviously what we are concerned about are people's livelihoods, people's lives, everyone being safe. if we can kind of zoom in for a little bit and only focus on Jhené, the artist, you release this body of work, and then this crazy thing happens that's never happened in our lifetime. How did that affect how you felt about the album, about the promotion for the album, any shows, and like just the artist? And if we can, again, we understand the bigger issue, but like,
exactly. So I had been feeling probably for the past 8 months, like when I really dove into the sound healing and really started to like learn about it, and I was really incorporating it into the music, my whole perspective changed about music and sound. And I was kind of already in the middle of doing this album and, wrapping it up. And I was just like, I can't wait to put out this album so I could put out an album of just all sound bowls and singing, and something that's really, really focused on meditation and sleep and healing. And so for me, I was kind of like, I just feel like I even more so feel the need to continue with this work that I'm doing, and to go even deeper, dig even deeper into the sound healing, because it's something that we all have access to, that we can use to our advantage. There's sounds all around us that we can tune into, whether it be a car going by outside or a bird or the wind. There's sounds all around us, and I feel like when you just tune into even simple sounds, you're just becoming more aware in that moment, and you're just truly in the moment. So I think that, like I said, it's just made me really want to dig deeper into it. And right before this all happened, at least in California, where we had to be on lockdown, and we were talking about my tour and we were talking about everything, and I was just thinking, wow, I really need to slow down right now, because I haven't seen my daughter in so long, and I've been working and she's been at school. So it's kind of been like a little bit of a blessing in disguise. It's like it's balanced out, even though there's, I'm cooking every day, I'm cleaning every day. Like it's things that haven't done in so long that I was yearning for, but it's really sat everybody down, I feel like. And I have more time now to really focus on my studying of the sound healing, and focus on my daughter and myself, and really making sure that I'm staying strong, like spiritually and mentally.
It is kind of, we are with our loved ones, hopefully, and it's time together. There is something kind of rewarding about being in this together.
For sure.
Which is nice. Are you a good cook? Like, how are you?
I'm amazing.
Holding it down?
I'm an amazing cook. And
what's your daughter's favorite dish that you make?
She likes my curry. I make Japanese curry, golden curry. It's really good. I can pretty much cook anything. Like, I learned from my grandmother and my mom. I used to help them cook a lot, and me and my brother used to make a mess in the kitchen, just coming up with our own little dishes. So and when back in the day when I had my EBT card, I used to be swiping it up, getting all the good groceries, just at home with my daughter, figuring out meals. So
that's awesome. I'm sure she's very proud of you.
She doesn't care. No, she's 11 now. She's a little angsty. She's like she acts like what I remember acting like that age, like 6th grade, 7th grade. Your mom, like, I don't think she thinks I'm cool. She listens to like every other artist besides me. She's just looks at me like, okay.
Dang, that's tough. That's tough. But that's funny. So in this time, have you already started, like, are you making music now?
Right now, I've
You
I've
should
been
take.
making
I mean, you deserve a break. You just put
Thank
out
you.
this full. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think I'm constantly making music. I have, like I said, a little setup at my house. So I'll go up there every day and either write a poem or mess around with my bowls or listen to instrumentals. I have Logic on my computer, which I dabble in. Sometimes I make my own little beats. So yeah, I am. I'm definitely
Yeah.
taking my time and taking this time to really reflect and, like I said, keep myself mentally and spiritually and physically strong. I
Yeah.
have one of those little mirror workout things where they work out
Okay.
in the mirror.
How is that? We see advertisements for those all over.
It's amazing, honestly. Like,
Come on. I'm very skeptical of those.
no, I honestly like they have this category called family fun, and it's like dance aerobics or like little 15-minute workouts that have definitely been useful like during this time, especially. But yeah, I forgot your question.
Yeah, that's all right. What have you been watching?
Ooh, okay. So first, my daughter Nami has been watching in order. She's been watching The Office, and so every day that's our thing. We watch The Office.
The greatest show of all time.
Twilight Zone is probably the greatest show of all time. But if you're, I mean, on the serious side, I guess, but on the comedic side, I guess I'll give it to The Office. But between the Twilight Zone and The Office, I think.
Yeah, that's a good mashup.
That's a good mashup.
That's a good mashup.
And then, of course, the Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Had to watch that. Yeah.
Again, you should go listen to Jhené's new album, and you should go watch Tiger King. This is it's the craziest documentary. I would love to hear you explain to people, assuming that they know nothing, what it is. Explain to people at home, what is Tiger King?
What is Tiger King? Tiger King is a docu-series about the world of exotic animal hoarding. There is drama, there is comedy, there is what's the word? Scandal. Yeah. There is murder.
Yes.
It will pull on your heartstrings, especially if you love cats. It will have you questioning every member of the cast. It's exciting. It's stressful. And I don't know if it's just because I'm stuck in the house, but it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
First of all, it's a great sell. All right. Netflix owes you a check for that. Yeah, they owe you a check for that.
I'm available.
Do you think Carol killed her husband?
First of all, you just spoiled it for anyone.
Well, we don't know if she did or she didn't, but what do you think?
You know, I personally like to believe in the greater good of people. So I'm going to say that she did not kill her husband. I don't think she killed her husband. Just like I don't think Joe did anything. I think it's all, that's what I would like to believe. I would like to believe that they're just got mixed up in some craziness. But I mean, obviously I don't know. I just would like to think that she didn't kill her husband and that he didn't kill those cats. And I don't know.
Would you like to hear what I think?
Yes,
no, I think they did all of those things. I think that she killed her husband. I think Joe Exotic for president. I think that's a wild boy. But he,
he's a Pisces.
No, how do you know that Joe was a Pisces? How do you know that? Like how deep is your Pisces game? Like, how did you find that information?
Whenever there's like a character, I'm always like, because he used such a big personality, I'm like, what is his sign? I have to know his sign. And usually when I do that, they're either a Pisces or a Sagittarius. My rising is a Sagittarius. So whenever I'm like intrigued enough to like figure out someone's sign, they're usually a Pisces. Because I was just like, he's a star, but he's crazy. Like, and then as you watch it, it just, you love him, then you hate him, then you love him, then you're just like, I don't know. Like, so anyway, I looked it up.
From a GQ standpoint, the outfits in that show alone, 5 stars. Like, you can't, the wedding,
sure.
The matching pink shirts at the wedding.
The music, though, like, Joe, honestly, I mean, I know that he's done bad things, but
bangers, bars.
He had bangers for sure.
Yeah. You guys collabing on a track. Must be a vibe.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I mean, for me, because I am a foster parent to kittens.
Yeah, you don't play around.
I don't play around, and I even tried to get I tried to get a litter. I hit up the people that I work with. They're called Adopt and Shop. It's a place out here in LA. And
Shout
anyway,
out to Adopt and Shop.
Yeah, shout out to Adopt and Shop. And so they have these programs where you can foster kittens, and you can do it for like 4 to 6 weeks until they're ready to be, until they weigh enough to be adopted.
Mm.
So you basically get them at like their best the cutest stage of a kitten. So anyway, I love cats. I'm saying all of that to say I love cats. And so for me, it was hard to watch because even with Carol, it was like, but you're still, you're profiting off of these cats still. And it's like, they're not in the wild. And I get it that they get hunted in the wild. And it was just hard to see. It's hard for me to see any animal in a cage. Like, yeah. I can't even go to the zoo because I get like very sad and I just want to free them. But then I'm like, where are they going to go? Maybe this is the best place for them. I don't know. Then I'm all confused. And then it's just like, breathe.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely, it's one of those documentaries that it shows you how powerful, how dark, and how over the top people can be. Because the animals are perfect. They didn't ask for any of that. Mm-hmm. But man, there's some characters in it. And I highly recommend it. You highly recommend it.
Yes. It is stressful though. Like, I am sensitive in that way where I can watch something and I'm so sensitive to like what I'm watching that I physically start to feel all the things that are going on. And by the end of it, I was kind of like, I couldn't sleep the night that I finished it. I literally could not sleep. Like my whole nervous system was like, and I was I literally had to just lay there and like breathe and sort of meditate. And I probably ended up dreaming about Joe. Nothing crazy. But...
I didn't say you're doing it. I didn't say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, watch that show. If you guys are just now joining us, I am Mark Anthony Green. Miss Jhené Aiko needs no introduction is here. We're talking about what we've been watching. And Jhené has some book suggestions for people.
Oh my God, I have so many. Are you ready?
Very.
Okay. This one is the most important one.
Can I make one announcement before?
Yes.
Send us questions, and you guys send us questions. I'm gonna field them, and we're gonna definitely try to work to get to a couple of you guys' questions. Again, the most important thing in this whole thing is that you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of those around you. And so Jhené, who's one of the biggest hearted people, biggest hearted people, big-hearted people, big-hearted people that we know in the GQ family. She was kind enough to come and hang out, and she's got some book recommendations. So send those questions through.
Okay. So this is a book that I just started reading. I have it on audiobook and iBook and a hard copy just because it's been so, I don't know. It's inspired me. It's teaching me. It's all the things that you can ask for in a book. It's called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. How common people are doing the uncommon. Training your brain to tune into frequencies beyond your material world. The way that he writes and the way that he explains everything is so simple. He sort of does a great job of like explaining the mystical and the scientifical, you know, if that makes any sense. So it's a very easy read and very practical practices to apply to your life. The power of thinking, the power of thought, the power of manifesting.
Yeah.
The way that he breaks it, you know, because sometimes people will be like, oh, your thoughts, you are what you think. And they kind of just leave it at that. And you're kind of like, okay, like whatever that means, ooh, you know, and it's always some hippy dippy, you know, everyone takes it as like you're just being like, you know, high, like you're smoking. But it's like, no, like these are actual things that he really shows the studies that have been done. He's a neuroscientist, so he knows all the science behind it, you know. And yes, so Becoming Supernatural.
What's cool about that too is I feel like now more than ever we have obviously seen that there's a lot that we can't control. And so
But there's a lot that we can though.
Right. And so
There's
let's focus on what we can. Yeah. And we can there's like you know, it's a thing, especially in this new era of GQ, that we've been trying to kind of shed a light on and kind of help certain people, help people really figure out a way to start this kind of personal growth wherever you want to go journey. And right now, I think is probably the best time in any of our lives to do that, because we are very grounded. And so it sounds like a perfect book.
It's a great book. Honestly, let's see. Okay.
The background too. Are those
this is
dream catchers in the background?
Say that again?
Are those dream catchers in the background?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, I think so. No, a woman in Venice, near where I live, Venice Beach, she makes these wall decorations, I would call them, because I wouldn't say they're authentic dream catchers, but yeah, she makes everything by hand and adds like crystals to them, so it's more like wall decoration.
Got
it. Thich Nhat Hanh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Julian, shout out to Julian. He is part Japanese, he is half Vietnamese, I think. So he taught me how to say it. It's Thich Nhat Hanh, I think. That's with the accent, I think. Anyway, No Death, No Fear. He's one of the greatest authors, poets of all time. I have been reading his books since I was like 13. This particular book I got when I was like 17. And when my brother passed, it was very helpful. He sort of just explains how there is no birth or death. There's just things manifest when conditions are right, and things go away when conditions are not right, you know? And so, and he just explains how everything exists because of everything else. So there is no me without you. There is no rain without the cloud. There is no paper without the rain. There is no sunshine with it. Like, he literally breaks it down so beautifully and so poetically. And all his books are just such easy reads. Like, you can read this book just because of how he writes. You can read this book, I would say, in like 2 days and not want to put it down, because it's super easy to read and it's not preachy. You know, you don't feel like someone is like trying to preach to you.
Yeah. And you said you've been reading since you were 13?
Reading reading this
His
author.
work. Yeah.
His work. He has a bunch of books. Another book that his first book that I read is called Peace is Every Step. The first book of his that I read is what I meant to say, which is the book that sort of like changed my life. Like he's explains things so beautifully. Like I said, how he writes is very poetic, so you don't really feel like you're reading a book. Everything is like flows, and he tells these stories that teach these beautiful lessons. And yes, he is someone I aspire to be like one day. He's so super centered, and just, yes, all of his books I recommend.
I'm gonna throw out 2 questions in between this and the next book.
Yeah.
The first one is, how did you get into like a spiritual meditation and healing? Like, what was the first thing?
So when I was probably like 4 or 5, my great grandmother, who is Japanese, she was born in Hawaii. I met her like later in her life. I met her basically towards the end of her life, and I just fell in love with her. She was so cute to me. She was so wrinkly, and her hair was white, and I just thought she looked like a kitten. Like I loved her. Like she would let me like play with her wrinkles and like give her little ponytails. I don't even know. I don't even remember hearing her speak. Like she would just sit there and let me like play with her, like she was a doll. And basically, she passed away like shortly after me getting to know her, and I was so young, and that was my first like real feeling of loss, and that was my first encounter with death. And so I remember being so intrigued, and just I needed to understand like what this meant, that I can no longer see her. So my father, who is a doctor, I remember asking him like, what happened, and she's like, he told me, well, she went to sleep and she didn't wake back up. And I'm like, okay, well, somebody can just wake her up. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. What do you mean? And he's like, no, she's not gonna wake back up, And I'm like, okay, but what about her body? And keep in mind, I'm like 5, so I'm literally just hearing about this for the first time. And he's like, well, and my dad is a doctor, so he explains it like very like, this is what it is. He's like, well, they burned her body because she's Buddhist. And I'm like, so in my mind, all I can picture is like when they put the pig, in like a luau, when they put the pig on it. And I'm like, they burned her body. So then I just remember from that point on, just like contemplating, like, okay, what is this life thing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what do people go to sleep, they don't wake up, they get burned? Like, what's happening? So for her funeral, it was a Buddhist ceremony, and we had to learn the whole ceremony. You have to do an offering of incense, and you have to do this bowing, and it's a whole thing that we had to learn for about a week. Because my family, even my Japanese family, they are American. They were born either in Hawaii or California. So we didn't know necessarily, didn't know the tradition of a Buddhist traditions, Right. And then at the same time, shortly after that, my grandmother, my mom's mom, grew up as a Catholic, and then she started going to Christian church, where she would take me and all of my siblings and my cousins. We would all go to the Christian church. So I grew up just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like learning about all these different religions and different ways of life, really, and different ways to view your spirit and your spirituality. So like I said, at that same time, I just remember I knew about Jesus and I knew about Buddha, at the time of my great grandmother's death. And I remember afterwards, after the service, we went to my grandmother's house and had like, you know, the food or the memorial, whatever they call it, repast, something like that. And I went in her backyard, and I knew about God, I knew about Jesus, so I like out loud, this little 5-year-old, I'm like, God, like, please bring my grandmother back.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if you drop her from the sky, like, I won't be scared. And I'm like saying this out loud. I'm like, please, you know, like, there was like butterflies flying by. It was like a very like spiritual moment, I guess. And of course, nothing fell from the sky. And then in my mind, it was like, she was the butterfly. She was the, you know, she was the sky. She was all these things. And just from that moment on, I just have always, I don't know, it's been my natural way of thinking, I guess. Just, I was also homeschooled from the 6th grade until, from the 7th grade until graduate, you know, until high school. Yeah. So I
love how you incorporate it in your music. It also helps to, you know, it's like R&B is such a, there's a lot of really good R&B and there's a lot of really bad R&B. And I think the stale R&B, it's because it sounds like something else. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you've ever had that problem because of all these different influences that you bring to the music. I have a lighthearted question for you. Cuddle, marry, kill.
Oh, God.
Cuddle, marry, kill. Michael Scott, Dwight Schrute from The Office. Come on.
Okay, wait. Michael Scott is Dwight?
No, Dwight is Dwight.
Oh, Michael Scott is the boss. Is what you call it? Steve
Carell. Yep. Dwight, you know Dwight.
I know Dwight.
And Jim. Cuddle, marry, kill.
Cuddle, marry, kill. Oh no. I love all of them. Okay. I'm gonna cuddle Jim.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill Dwight.
Wow.
I'm gonna marry Michael.
You're gonna marry Michael Scott.
I love Michael Scott. I love
Jhené
him.
Scott.
Yeah, I love him.
All right.
Dwight is really funny though, but I would probably be just annoyed after a while.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that he would be a good cuddler either.
Probably not, but you don't know. He's a farmer. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, that probably means he smells.
Like beets.
Like beets. Oh, okay.
He's a beet farmer. You know what I mean? I was really supposed to
be
a
like editor
farmer. She was like in the Office magazine. What'd you say?
I said a lavender farmer would smell like lavender. Anyway, sorry, just whatever. Yeah.
That's all right.
I wasn't trying to say that farmers stink, by the way.
Shout out to all the farmers. We love
all
the farmers.
Especially right now, like.
Yeah.
For real.
But after a hard day's work, most people stink.
But you know what? When you love a person, their BO does not bother you.
At all.
Like they're natural, especially if they're like health, you know, they eat good and stuff. It just smells like a natural musk. Like it doesn't, and a lot of people don't even, like me, for instance, I don't even get musty. I really don't. I really don't. But I also take like 2 showers and a bath as often as I can. So
I'm just saying
every day.
Self-quarantine, this is not the time for fabrication. But maybe it is. Fantasy, you know what I mean? Fiction is a good time.
I mean, honestly, during this time, I have, because I'm one of those, I love water, you know? So, I love showers. But I'll take a shower, and then I'll get in the bath. And I'll just be it'll be like a 5-hour thing. So, as often as I can do that, like a 5-hour cleansing ritual, because that is, you know, important to me to stay clean.
Respect.
Period.
Shout out to all the clean people.
Shout out to all the clean people.
Okay, give us 2 more books and we'll answer 2 more questions and then we'll get out of here.
Chakras for Beginners. A guide to balancing your chakra energies.
And what we'll do for everyone following along at home, we'll make sure that we put these up in a way, just in case you missed the first two, um, so that you can get your Amazon on and order these. So don't
Yes,
worry about
please.
taking notes right now.
So I actually started with this book in conjunction with Sacred Sounds.
Mm.
Sacred Sounds talks a lot about the different notes, how they correlate with the different chakras. So I kind of study both of these books hand in hand, because obviously the chakra book goes deeper into like what the chakras actually are, and then the Sacred Sounds book goes into like the different vowel sounds, the different tones, the different frequencies that resonate with the different parts of your body. And they both of these books break them down like super simply, simple.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Can I ask you? This is a super layman question, so forgive me. But is there such a thing as a sound that is bad for you?
So they say. I believe so. There's a certain well, I don't know if it's considered bad for you, but there's it's called like the devil's something. And get back to me on that one, because I'm not really studying bad
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah, but I'm just like, like I think about, I mostly listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's not like some of it is not like a soothing.
Right. And that's the thing though.
situation.
There's you listen to different things for different things,
Right.
and I wouldn't say, that's why I wouldn't call any sound a bad sound, but there's certain things, even sometimes when I'm playing a bowl, someone would be like, "Oh, that feels," I read like,
Yeah.
they'll be like, "This one doesn't like sit right with me," and that either means like it's working on a part of yourself that is not really balanced, and it's kind of like, like when you eat a salad and your stomach starts to hurt and you're like, "Oh, this salad made me sick." It's like, no, that salad is working on you
Right.
and getting stuff moving,
Right.
and it's actually helping you, but it's gonna feel uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, you
So
should eat more than one salad a month, and then maybe the salad
exactly,
won't
and then
hurt.
it won't hurt your stomach. But
Yeah.
obviously, unless you're allergic to something in it, or
Yeah.
something like that. But
So don't go around blaming salads, people, during this time.
but no, so many
Not the
times that
salad's
someone
fault.
will say that and they'll be like, "Oh, like," and it's really, they just have to use the bathroom, and it's like, that's good. You need to use the bathroom.
Yeah. We're at minute 42 and we hit the bathroom talk. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's where we should be. This is
I usually somehow always end up talking about BMs, like bowel movements, with my friends and family. It always comes to like that. We're always like talking about it. It's
it's a GQ first, for
it's
sure.
something we need to talk more about. Healthy bowel movements. Something that we need more of.
Respect. Free the bowel movements.
Freeze
You got
it.
another book? You got another book?
Ooh, here's a good one. I don't know if you can find this one, but
Rare.
it's rare. And I got this so long ago. Basically, I cracked it open for the first time a few days ago because I was like, exploring inner space. This might come in handy at a time where we're not really going outside,
Yeah.
And so basically, it's a bunch of games, actually, to explore your inner world. And you're really supposed to do it in a group setting with between 2 to 8 people. And the book is broken down into the chakras. So like, there's like exploration, the red world, which is your root chakra. So all of those exercises are about being grounded, and it follows the chakra system, but or however you want to say it. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool book.
I love the cover.
No, it's very, I feel like this was like, I don't know when this book is from. I tried to find the date in the book, but it's definitely on some trippy psychedelic stuff. Like whoever wrote this book was really in tune with something.
Yeah.
But all of the things are very, all of the games are very practical. You know, it's like sit in a circle and ask this, you know, ask about this, and then see what the other person thinks, and then, you know, it kind of starts off like that. So
Yeah.
I dove all the way into the book, so hopefully it doesn't get crazy.
Yeah.
We can find out together. It's like, now drink this.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
How has the parenting process been in kind of teaching while also allowing your daughter to find, like, what does she believe in, what resonates with her? Has that been difficult?
It hasn't been difficult. Me and my daughter are very compatible. She's a Scorpio and I'm a Pisces, and we're very in tune with each other. I give her her space when she needs it. She gives me mine. I give her her discipline when she needs it. And, you know, I think that, I don't know. It's a day-to-day thing. You know what I mean? Like every day is sort of different, especially as she just grows and becomes her own person. Last year was so much different than this year. You know, when she was 10, so much different from her being 11. And I always just remember what it was like when I was 11, when I was in school. You know, she has gotten in trouble for writing certain things in her journal, and that literally used to happen to me because she's super expressive like me and creative. And so, you know, she writes raps and songs, and, you know, she might say, you know, a bad word here or there, and I'm like, wow, that was me. You know, that was me. And so I have to be understanding of that and her growing, instead of just being like, that's wrong, and, you know, always trying to come down on her. I've learned to be so much more patient as a mom. When she was a baby and she would cry all the time, and, you know, I was a lot less patient, and I would just be like, like going crazy. But it's gotten a lot easier. But as she gets older, there are more new challenges. You know, I have to worry about social media. I have to worry about, you know, her being influenced by kids at school. And, you know, I just have to make sure that I'm healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, so that I can help guide her. But she's very smart, very in tune, and I trust her, you know.
Yeah. You did a thing that most artists do the opposite of, which is, which I always find pretty fascinating, but when their children are really little, they're very raw because the kids are little. But then as the kids get older and they spend more time, and, you know, I think that it just, like a change in priorities, they probably don't want their kids to hear them being as, like, raw, you know. And for, like, especially like stand-up comedians, for example, some of the worst specials we've ever got are just because the kids got to be around 11, 15, and then they can understand the jokes. But this album was definitely super raw. So you did, like, the opposite. Did you ever?
I mean, everything I do is raw. You know, I can't fake being anyone but myself. You know, even when I've tried, it's just, I'll always end up showing my authentic self. Even in this interview, you know, we've had to talk about movements, and I brought it back up, and it's just like, I can't help it.
That's the thing about live phone viewing. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, so with her, you know, I think I was more responsible on this album with my language that I was using, because I think in the past I maybe used a little more cuss words, maybe. I don't think it's more raw than any of the other albums. I just think that it's just me, and she knows me. She's always around. You know, she was there in the studio while I was recording. I think I was working on the mix for oh God, what song was it? Party for Me.
Mm.
And she was laughing at me, laughing at the rap. And I was like, you don't like how I'm rapping? Like, you don't. And she was just like, no, I like it. But you know, she is all on Spotify. She knows about and SoundCloud, you know, she knows all about all the new people before I even know. So
Yeah.
she's, like I said, she probably just thinks that I'm like not cool at this point.
I don't know. She probably does. She probably just doesn't want to show it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we are almost out of time. We're gonna do 2 quick questions and then we'll get you out of here. So,
are you gonna pick the questions or me?
I'm gonna pick them. You know, because
yeah, okay.
We'll keep it a little filtered out here. Biggest challenge in making the album.
Oh, Kitty.
Bring it up.
The biggest challenge in making the album was I don't know. Let's see. Staying focused. Which is for me, like I'm one of those people that truly lives in the moment, and so there was obviously life was happening as I was creating the album. It's been a good full 2-year process to like from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And so life was happening. You know, there were some crazy things that happened in my life during those 2 years. And so for me, it was just, you know, dealing with those everyday challenges and emotions, and just coming back to like, okay, hold on, but you need to finish this album. You need to, you know, I set a goal and I was like, okay, I have to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and then with my daughter, that's always a challenge to make sure that I'm spending enough time with her and my cats, because
shout out to the cats, man. You know.
Say that again.
I said shout out to the cats.
Shout out to all the cats in the world,
it.
Big, small, hairy, furry, hairless.
What did Carol say? Hello there, cat lovers. Well, how'd she do it?
Well, she said, hey there, shit, I forgot. Cool
we should have had that
cats and
prepared.
kittens.
We should have started this out.
Cool cats and kittens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Hey there,
it's me,
cool
Jhené Aiko.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, last question. What is one thing that you are going to do during this? I don't know if we should call it a break. It's not a break, obviously, but during the social distancing time that you've never done before.
Ooh, oh my God, there's not many things I haven't done. What am I gonna do? You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do a silent, what would you call it? I don't know what they call it.
Like a silent retreat where you don't speak?
Like a silent retreat, yeah. Like take a couple of days where I don't say anything, I just write. Because I talk a lot when asked or given the opportunity. And so especially there's a lot of offers like this to have interviews and do live, you know.
Thank you again.
Thank you. I've been dying to talk. That's why I can't stop talking. I've been dying to talk to someone. No. So yeah, I want to try it at least for 2 full days, like for 48 hours. I want to completely disconnect from social media, from talking. I just want to write. And I have been watching the news, so I feel like it's important to stay informed. Yeah. So I will watch the news and be informed for the day. But yeah, I want to really take the time to really just like tune in to myself, to my thoughts, to my body, and to whatever else comes my way during that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and maybe also finish a complete book in only a matter of days, because I usually skip around to different books, and then it takes me a while to just finish it because I'm skipping around. So
that's it. Well, I'm glad that that silent retreat did not start before we got to do this. Thank you so much. Again, everybody at home, we are thinking about you guys, and
Stay safe.
stay in
Wash
the
your
house,
hands.
wash your hands, and Miss Jhené,
Be
thank you
well.
so much.
Thank you guys.
All right, later.
Bye. Ooh, how do I end it though?
I got it.